This is the side beam clamp. There's a little difference in the cams in this one. So I'll strip this one down and show you how to put it back together. So put new kits in if you need to. You drive your pin out of one side on the cam pin and tap it out. Always release the pressure off your flapper first, makes it easier. Tap that out. Then drive the pin out of your cam yoke pin. Tap that out. Just tap it all the way. And then there'll be the two roll pins in your flapper to drive out. And then you can pull your handle out and pull your flapper out. And then an HLSBC has an extra pin here just to stop the shackle from moving so far. So drive that pin out and take that pin out. Gives you more room. Pull your train right out of the clamp. HLSB has a slightly different shackle too. One thing to remember. Yeah. Take your cams off. Cams are real important to watch for the wear. This is the same as the 1 ton has to have the 2 spacers in the cam yokes to keep the connecting rod in the middle. So you put them in, not too hard to do, and then you turn it on its side, put the shackle back in. Always make sure the bevel in the shackle is beveled to fold up on the cams. If you flip it over, it's going to hit. And this one, normally on the others, you flip the cam in. On the HLSBC, you have to flip it out. Point the teeth away. Put your step pin in, the other cam on top. Then you're ready to pick this up and slide it back inside your clamp. You have to kind of tip and lift this one because it's a little different. And then get her tipped down on her side. Work the cams over till you see the hole line up so you can drop your cam pin back in. And then work it around till you see the cam yoke hole line up with the bottom hole in your clamp, because the top one's for the handle. And then stick your cam yoke pin back in. And you can also put your pin for the spacer on the shackle back in. Then tip her up. And your cam pin, you could go ahead and drive the pin back in, but your cam yoke pin, you have to pull it back a bit. Put the spring in, just so you see it better. I'll show you here. This is just an example. This is the spacer pin that holds the cam yokes together. The tail on your spring always has to go in front of that pin, so that when it's folded up, it gives you pressure on your spring. So you hold it up like this with the tail pointing towards you, and you drop it down in front of the pin, and then work your cam yoke pin back in. Then fold the flapper forward, set it in there, and then you take a pry bar. Same thing. This clamp, I can probably do it on the table here, but normally we hold them in a vise or a press, as the bigger ones take more pry than the little ones. Then you give it a pry, start your handle back in, flex her around until she lines up with the hole, and push her in. And because the pins aren't in the flapper yet, you have to just tap it forward to release it, and then take a wooden handle and press it over. Make sure it's down in. Line your handle up with the curve of the clamp. Then you'll have to prop your clamp up on something so the holes, pre-drilled holes in your flapper line up, and you can re-drill the holes in your handles so they lock in. Make sure you put your pins back in everything else once it's working right. So that's why I wanted to show you an HLSB, because the cams are flipped over backwards.